Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Nasdaq 100, which I've got on the screen, and we'll move into the Qs, which is the Nasdaq 100 ETF. There's some changes going on. The Qs are going to be effective a week from Monday, December 23rd. We'll talk about that. And we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. Well, GBTC, which is Bitcoin ETF, the one that's been around the longest. I know there's another one out. I think it's IBIT or something like that anyway, but we'll take a look at GBTC. And then a quick glance at three of the big semiconductor stocks. All right, so the Nasdaq 100 on Friday up 164.98, a little doji type candle in here, and we are getting divergence on the near term. Okay, and on a weekly, yeah, we've pushed for 4 weeks in a row, and have we seen a correction yet? I know I've been talking about it for the last couple of videos. I am still concerned that we're getting extended short term. Okay. Longer term, do I think there's more to come? Yes, but short term, I think we're getting into a risky scenario. So here's where we are. Let's take a look at the Elliott Wave picture. Actually, you know what? I'm going to come back to this and I'm going to use the Elliott Wave on the Qs. Let's take a look at the Qs. So here's the picture with the Qs. Up 403 on Friday, up 405 for the week. So in reality, you know, the Friday just kind of like saved the week, I guess, is the way you look at it in here, because this was the prior Friday, December 6th, right here. And so in reality, we had Monday, Tuesday down, Wednesday up big, down on Thursday, and then up on Friday. So that's the picture we've got with the Qs. The Elliott Wave picture is this. Now, this is the look that I've been working for quite a while. The problem is this move since August, the August lows, this is a weekly view, has been very problematic because of the congestion in the middle here. I've been trying to get either an impulse wave structure or an ending diagonal pattern, and neither one of those are really playing out to my satisfaction. I mean, you could possibly say we've got an impulse wave going on here, but then we've got a fourth wave which looks like an expanding triangle, is overlapping slightly on an intraday basis with wave one, not on a closing basis, but on an intraday basis. So we'll see. And if this continues to extend, then the odds are maybe this is playing out. But I'll say the other alternative that I'm looking at is this, is that we have a bigger flat going on. That we have a three wave, A, B, C, and a three wave. Here it is. Here's the B wave. Here's the combined zigzag complex WXY. So a triangle, yes, I do believe this is a small expanding triangle in here. And triangles can occur in B waves, X waves, and fourth waves. Those are the only places where triangles are going to occur. So this fits perfectly. And if this is an X wave, then we have a double zigzag, a W zigzag, and then we've got the X triangle, and then we've got another zigzag that's in here. And it looks like we may be finishing it off. So either we're very close or we're there. So that's what I think's happening with the Qs. Now let's take a look. I want to take a look at Bitcoin. Let me pull up GBTC. Okay, here we go, right here. So on Friday, it was up $1. Let me pull this over a little bit. Up $1.36. So it's interesting that since this high on November 22nd, it looks like we're getting some congestion coming in here. I mean, we got a zigzag pattern. That's not an impulse wave. It just looks like we're kind of chopping around. We definitely are getting divergence. We may have more indigestion to come in here short term before we continue to move to the upside. Now, when I take a look at the weekly picture, here's what's interesting about that. And I go back, this is all the data I've got on GBTC. So it started trading back here in May of 2015. Here is within its history, here was the first halving, and then we had another one in May of 2020, and then we had the one here in April of this year. Now, we had really strong surge after that halving. It's easy for me to say. And then another surge, not nearly as strong, after the one in 2020. Okay. And now we got another one going on. The real question is, how much are we going to get? Are we going to get to the top of what looks like a channel that's an upward sloping channel? Are we going to break through the top of that channel? And we'll see. I mean, we're getting divergence. This is a weekly basis. We're getting divergence at least where we sit right now. And this move may not be done, but I'm just showing you a picture of how things look right now. And yeah, we're getting some divergence in here. Okay, so when I look at an Elliott Wave picture based on GBTC, I think there's more to come. I just think short term we've got some digestion going on. And if I come take a look at the Bitcoin futures, here's where we sit. We closed with futures on Friday at 101,840. The same kind of picture. I mean, it mirrors what's going on with GBTC. Or I should say GBTC mirrors what's going on with the Bitcoin futures almost exactly. So pretty good little match there. Okay, so speaking of Bitcoin, of course, everybody's been talking about MicroStrategy, right? So let me scroll down here and let me pull up MicroStrategy, MSTR. So why is everybody focused on it? Because of what he's been using and all the Bitcoin he's been buying and what's been happening with this stock. So as of December 23rd, a week from Monday, MicroStrategy is coming into the Nasdaq 100. So we've got MicroStrategy, we've got Palantir, and you can see all of these have been pretty much going right to the roof. And, you look at, on a daily basis, we're getting some very, very strong divergence here over the last several weeks in terms of what's happening. If you go back to MSTR, it's same thing. It's been running into some indigestion. Now, it may be getting ready to take off again. We'll see. It's gone pretty far, pretty quick. And then the other one that I've got on the list is Axon right here. That's coming into the Qs a week from Monday. So interesting picture, getting divergence on Axon too here over the last several weeks. And then, the ones that are coming out are Illumina, Supermicro, and Moderna, all exiting. And, a lot of these, like Moderna, I mean, they've been in pretty severe downtrends. Illumina has been same kind of picture, although on a daily basis here recently, it's been rallying a little bit. And Supermicro, I mean, it's 22, 23 had a good year, and then it's been selling off here this year from a high in March. So those three are exiting. So kind of interesting dynamic in terms of what's happening with the Qs. The other thing I wanted to point out is on Friday, the semis, okay? When I looked at the SOX index, which is the Philly Semiconductor Index, and SMH, which is the ETF, they were both up on Friday. But in reality, it was kind of a mixed picture. I have 23 stocks in the semiconductor sector that I look at, and it was about 50-50. About half of them were up and half of them were down. And the big mover to the upside was Broadcom, without a doubt. But when you look at the weekly basis on Broadcom, it's kind of interesting. It looks like a cup and handle type picture, doesn't it? Right here. Almost perfect. But if I had to say, what's the projection? It looks like we're pretty doggone close to the projection already achieved all in one day. We'll see. It is a huge amount of volume. huge buy-ins. Everybody's talking about, oh, should we be in Broadcom and be out of NVIDIA? Well, what I really want with this is like this. Look at what's been going on with NVIDIA. And, the push higher, the volume drop off on a weekly basis, the divergence showing up on the indicators. And then when you look at the daily picture, it's not something to get super excited about either. Either we have a rising wedge that it's breaking down out of, although I'll admit it hasn't fallen out of bed nearly as fast as I would have expected coming out of a wedge. The other possibility that's going on is we could have a little head and shoulders pattern right here with the neckline. And so, Broadcom was up big. NVIDIA was down on Friday. We'll see if we get the follow through, see if we get the break that we're looking at. When I look at this from an Elliott Wave picture, this looks like a 3. My expectation is that we're going to get a 5. Okay, we'll see if that plays out. Step 1, we got to start breaking down in here further. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be watching these coming weeks. Now, the other one I wanted to show you is, okay, so NVIDIA, an average 223 million shares a day. Okay, Broadcom, it is an average of 28 million shares a day. AMD, it's heading south too, or it's been heading south, let's put it that way. Okay, an average of 34 million a day. So of those three, Broadcom's got the lowest, at least as of right now. NVIDIA's got the highest. Of course, everybody and their brother has been into NVIDIA. So anyway, that's the picture where we sit at the end of this week. Let's go back. Let's take a look at the Qs. And let me just leave you with the daily and the weekly picture. The title of the video is short-term, be on guard. I would say just make sure you know where your stop is. If you felt like the video was helpful, give it a thumbs up. If you are not a subscriber, hit that little subscriber button there. If you like more of this information on a regular basis, head on over to joehenches.net. Everyone have a great week. We got the Fed meeting this week also. We'll talk to you on the next video.